Welcome back. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. It may be a coincidence, but of course it's all planned, that in the month of June, right, we're able to call it rejuvenate, revitalize. I mean, there must be a shift in paradigm, conscious one. The way we're doing things earlier, especially from January to May, if you were excited about it, why not continue? And if it sits in the things we're discussing and the sensitization, of course, the education we have been giving all through, well, too good. I would even love to hear what you have been doing all throughout that is working for you. But if you have not, like some of us who have not kept to the schedules we've done, of course, call them resolutions, and the changes we wanted to see, then it is only okay that we use this medium to educate. As far as we are entertaining as well, we can also educate and, of course, inform you. And so be sure that in the month of June, you're going to be having a lot of health conversations, realignment as far as your personal needs and goals are concerned, your corporate needs, family needs, all of these things will come up. And that's why we're excited that we are able to assemble these great minds from various fields and experiences as well, who are able to tell us what to do, what not to do, based on what they have experienced. Is that okay? Right. So welcome to that conversation, the big one, faith meets fitness. So in all of these, you're going to be hearing a lot of fitness, a lot of ways you can stay fit, but faith also ties in. It's a big deal for us here. So we are resetting our body and soul. It's not the reset. I mean, it's the reset, but not the reset. Julius Everme Agbagba is a dietitian with the University of Ghana Medical Center. He joins us. Thank you very much for coming. Kofi Fitness, I know you missed him, but he's here in studio for the first time, like in person.
Yeah.
It's good to have you.
Thank you.
Great. And he's a fitness coach. Mark the Son is Kingdom Fitness and Health Advocate. And so as and when he appears, the designation changes. And so you see him as a host, right? Of course, the face is not, you've seen him over and over. But today, for the purposes of this discussion, is a Kingdom Fitness and Health Advocate. Sarah Mamakwazasu is a life and marriage coach. She's also going to be joining us. Always on time. Always on time. Always. Good to see you. Thank you. But of course, it's good to have the men in studio, of course. They're very strong women out there as well. As much as possible, let's have a conversation that resonates with everyone, right? And let's have that. So in between both of you is an experience. So you're coming from, if you like, an expertise point of view is also coming from there. But there's a man in the middle who has experienced the changes that you have been spoken about and have taught a lot of people. Share your story in about 2 minutes with us.
Sure, Koku. So thank you very much. Let me do this because it's quite important to me. So Today is the 5th of June.
Okay.
And it's actually my big sister's birthday.
Okay. Cool.
I told her.
Big sister.
Yes. I told her I was going to honor her today, Anita Agbasi. Yes. And she's just great. I mean, the first time I had the Bible, she bought me my Bible.
Wow.
And I remember when we were young, I had this injury on my leg. I had a cut from a broken bottle.
Right.
And we were very young. She was just in junior high school.
Okay.
She literally picked out her handkerchief, put pressure on it, tied the whole thing, carried me to a clinic.
Tell me she's a nurse today.
She's not a nurse. She's a teacher. But her proactiveness and knowledge took me to the clinic. The clinic, believe it or not, sacked us that we were causing a lot of stains with the blood, so we should get out. We had to get out. She held me, her arms, put me close and told me, don't worry, Daddy will be here soon. You'll be okay. Wow. And I just want to honor her. So,
yes. Happy
Anita,
birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yes. Is she watching?
She should be watching.
Yes.
I told her to watch, but she didn't know I was going to.
She's beautiful.
Yes. I came right after her, so I took a bit of that.
That we can discuss later. I think we can discuss that later. It's a discussion that could come up later. But for now, it doesn't connect at all. But that's just, by the way, happy birthday to you, Anita.
Thank you for that.
Right.
Well, I've been active all my life. I'm a choreographer, so I dance a lot. But I also eat a lot at irregular hours.
Okay.
And I loved chocolate. Now I'm using the past tense because now I don't. But I could literally buy myself a chocolate cake this big, sit in my room and eat it for dinner.
Oh, wow.
And that's it. And that's before that, I probably would have taken double chocolate muffins. And I would eat like that. But the strange thing was that I wasn't getting fat. Because I was living an active life on campus and all that. And then come 2021, I have COVID. And everything changes. My COVID went in with a lot of complications afterwards, and medication wasn't just helping. And of course, with COVID, from one antibiotics to the next, and everything has its own side effects and all that. And I was just being faced with grim news after grim news after grim news, till I just noticed that, wait. In fact, I was doing a lot of researches, let me put it that way. And I discovered a lot of dietitians. And then speaking about how just your food culture could change everything. And I just started that.
I see.
I went into keto. Now, I used my body as an experiment. I went to paleo diet. I went to keto diet. I was just all over the place, whichever one would work. What worked for me was intermittent fasting and keto. And with research, I came to see the evil that excess carbs actually cause.
I see.
And I came to the conclusion, number 3 things that you must watch in your life. Number 1 is your eating culture. Number 2 is your body activity culture. And number 3 is your sleeping culture.
I see.
I think everything revolves around the 3.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. And so that's the quick story, of course. If you were to break it down, that's a hell of experience there. I mean, a lot of people don't want to go through that, especially COVID, the complications that come with it. So he might have said it simply, but that's
9
a
months.
lot.
9 months.
That's a lot.
That's how long it took for me to come back.
You get to hear a lot of these stories. And surprisingly, it's coming from that one need that everybody cannot do without, food. So people come to the hospital, and it's because they are not eating well. And you tell us there must be a formula. And they are telling, what formula? I have the money, I have to buy food. The body needs it. That's the craving. And you are saying formula. What's the balance like?
Well, Hippocrates puts it this way. Eat your food like medicine, or a time will come where you have to take your medicine like food.
Ouch. Say that again. It hits hard. Let it hit harder.
So you say, it's either you, let me paraphrase.
Right.
It's either you eat your medicine, your food now like a medicine, and for medicine, it has dosages, it has times that you take it and all those things. Or a time will come where you have no choice than to eat your medicine like food. You have to take it in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, and probably use some as snacks. So, I mean, it's the issue of experience, choice, and accessibility. So we're discussing this, that for quite a number of us, you come from a background where you have a restricted access to certain things. Then you get to a point where you can afford. So you say, oh, now I have the power. So let me just indulge in whatever I can do.
That's right.
Be it probably you were restricted, maybe not because there was not a means, but because your parents thought it was not healthy, or they thought, or in your geographical space, it was not there. So when you get to an environment where everything is there, then you just binge and eat. But when the issue sets in, and humans as we are, when we have problems, we look for solutions. If I don't face a problem and you are telling me that, oh, try and prevent this, it sounds more like, what's the word for it? It sounds more like something that I cannot see physically. So I don't appreciate it. But when issues come, you check your blood sugar is high, or you eat something, your stomach hurts, then because of the discomfort, then you are forced to look for solutions that work. And when this happens, one of the killers is Google. People just go online and then look for, what do I do when I have this? And you realize people have tons of opinions about things that you are going on, and some of them are so ridiculous. But the best way to do it is to seek professional help. I mean, even if you are looking for the information on Google, see who is giving you the information and see where the information is coming from. And when you do this, then you are able to appreciate some of the changes you make.
I see.
And Matasan make the comment.
Mark the Sun,
sorry. Mark the Sun made the comment that what worked for him was keto.
Right.
And the intermittent fasting.
Yes.
Now, there's a lot of craze out there about different kinds of dietary patterns that people should take. But you realize that it's not this thing that works for everybody.
Right.
So with the help and guidance of professionals, you're able to notice what works for you.
Right.
So it is good that whilst we are looking for solutions, we look for appropriate persons or professionals who can actually provide this.
When I come back to you, talk about accessibility, because you see, if you are accessible, I could just walk to you.
Yeah.
I don't know how much you charge me, even if it's affordable. I could walk to you anytime.
Accessibility is about the food, not about the professional.
But my point is, how can I speak to a professional?
Okay.
Because if these are the people I need to hear from really, then where are they? How much would they charge me? If the issue about eating irregularly, it has to do with me not having much, and that's why I eat at very irregular times, or when I get it, I want to eat it to cover a session, means there's a money issue there. So if I have to come and pay, we'll talk about that very soon.
Sure.
Fitness is seen, forgive me, and the kind of job you do is seen to be for the elite. Do you know that people think that because of how you dress, the way you have, time and the payment to you, people like you, people feel it's for the elite. And so people really do not, it does not resonate with them.
With the regular people.
So how do you, let maybe demystify that, then we come to how you make it very easy for us that even if we don't come to you, you can just do regular things.
Yes.
That helps us.
Yeah, the misconception which is a very misconception, is that you have to be doing well or you have to be rich to be able to take care of your body, right? It's a myth. You don't have to come to someone like me to get trained. You can start gradually just by walking. Walking itself is an exercise. And if, like I always say, consistency.
Right.
If you walk and you're consistent with it, every day you're walking, even if it's just a half a mile, but you're being consistent with it, you'll see results. And with the exercise, you don't need to come to a gym. There's exercises that you can do in the house without weights, without any expensive coach, which are also beneficial to your body.
Right.
It's just about being willing to do it.
Right. The issue has to do with the excuses and the alibi that we give. Oh,
yes.
We live in Accra.
Yes.
We come to work early in the morning. We have to wake up. By the time we are in Trotro for a long time, we have to go and cook for the kids. So we don't have a lot of time to exercise.
Yes.
And that is why I'm bloating like this. So.
And that's what they say.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you, if you're working out, if you're doing 10 minutes a day,
Right.
rigorous fitness training, right? You'll get the results.
Okay. 10 minutes a day.
10 minutes a day. That's all you need. I can train you right now, 10 minutes. You'll burn at least 500 calories in 10 minutes. I can make you burn 500 calories. So it's not about the time. It's about putting in the work and making sure that is rigorous.
I see. When I come back to remind me to talk about the times that are very effective, because I like the evening ones. Okay. People have also told me it's not that effective. Let me go online. Let's talk to Sarah now. Sarah, if you can hear me, I'm sure you're enjoying the men in the studio as well. So let's get to hear from you as well. And I want you to come from that angle where probably you want to back it with what the word says. Is there explicitly in the word that speaks about the issues of exercising, and was it stated that way? Is there any connection you can give? I'm sure Mark the son is also interested in this one, but you start it off.
Right. Thank you, Koku. It's like a pre-Beijing party in the studio.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Thank you, gentlemen, for sharing your thoughts. I'm here, but I'm relearning, right?
Right.
And like Koku said, I mean, from the believer's point of view, and as the topic rightly says, what happens when your faith meets fitness? And I summarized it, and in fact, all the gentlemen have summarized it. What you eat and how you exercise and your rest patterns. Those are the three very key things that I've summarized. And from the biblical point of view, the Bible says that our body is God's temple.
That's right.
So from a personal perspective, how you treat your body is an act of worship to the Creator.
That's right.
So how you manage your body in terms of what you eat, how you exercise, and how you rest your body is an act of worship to the Creator.
That's right.
And the dietitian was mentioning food. God in His wisdom made our food to be nourishment and medicine.
Mm-hmm.
From the very onset, God made our food to be nourishment, and He declared them good for food, and they also serve as medicine. So indeed, if we consciously stick to what we know, which is what God created, food in their natural habitat,
Right.
I believe that they help build our system in such a way that they are able to resist all forms of attacks and sicknesses. Because in the olden days, most of our grandmothers and grandfathers were not exposed to some of the food we eat. And they were the healthiest, they lived the longest. So for me, the bottom line also has to do with choices. Most of what my experts, Kofi Fitness, the dietitian, and Mark the Sun will share today, I don't believe that it is new information to most of our listeners.
Right.
It's a matter of choices. So let me put it in the context of the Bible again. In the book of Daniel, maybe most people are familiar with this this passage, that Daniel asked that he and his 3 friends should not be fed with the food of the king. The rich, sumptuous, probably oily food from the table of the king. No. He wanted to live on vegetables and water. For 10 days, Daniel and his friends lived on vegetables and water. And he dared the king that at the end of these 10 days, compare us to people who are living and feasting off your food. And whatever your decision is, you can use it to judge what you do to us.
Okay.
And what happened? They turned out to be healthier than those who were feasting at the table of the king. So essentially, Daniel at one point, on a spiritual level, made a decision not to defile himself with the king's food. But on the physical level, it was a decision that kept his body healthier and stronger than people who were choosing to eat differently.
Right.
So there is now what we call the Daniel fast. A lot of people just practice it for the sake of either detoxifying their bodies or setting themselves in a motion of prayer. And people do it up to about 21 days, not even just the 10 days.
Right.
So in the picture of faith and fitness, I feel like if you take God as someone you love, I mean, naturally, you want to maintain yourself to look good for your lover, right?
That's right.
So these are choices you make. You are in love with God. He says your body is His temple. So you want to look good for your lover. And it is ultimate self-love.
Yeah.
You love yourself enough to take care of your body in such a way that it is appealing to your partner. Not even for your partner, for yourself first. Self-love, self-care, and the choices that you make. I like what Kofi Fitness said. Sometimes when you mention the word workouts, it scares people. But it's a matter of, personally, I have even settled for gentle exercises that are effective.
Right.
Moves that you can actually stand in one place in 10 minutes, like he said, and you even feel it in your own body before you set out to start.
I see.
So Koku, don't use the evening style, because the evening style, if it fails you, it means you are done for the day. Aim for the morning. Aim for the morning, so that if you miss the morning, you can do evening. But if you aim for evening and anything happens, you get home late, you get home tired, you miss it, and you say, oh, tomorrow. The same thing happens tomorrow.
Right.
1 week would have passed.
Right.
So essentially, love your body enough, love your God enough to make choices that keep you healthy, choices that keep your body looking good for yourself first before any other person, and a body that you can actually live a long life in.
I see. Sam just used 1 minute to deflate my
Evening.
Evening.
It didn't even come to Coffee Fitness. So Sam just deflated it. But it's all right. Cool E Bender says, I'm Cool Bender from Liberia. Thanks for the show. Thanks as well. ST Love says, thanks for the show. Emmanuel Nyani is watching us from London. We're grateful. Tutukani Chonko says, Amen. I'm from South Africa, Pretoria. We're grateful. We have a lot of people watching us. And of course, I think this particular message was for the other segment. Ophelia Sumen said, there are many people going for herbal treatment and complicating their condition. Doc, please, can you speak to that? I'm sure we'll have to reserve that, and producer take note of that so we can answer that particular question. If you see the three of us, if he were to cover well, a lot of people would have said that I was the one that was healthier and that is more dadaba than all of you. Because that is what we have come to understand. Coffee Fitness was talking about back in senior high school, the bigger boys were seen to be dadabas. And the tiny guys like Everme is said to be the poor guys. That's it. It's a mindset.
It's a mindset. Let me say two things. One from our bodies being a temple. I think we don't fully understand that statement. Your body is not yours.
Okay.
It doesn't belong to you. Yeah. See, God has bought that house. You no longer own that house to put the chair where you want to put it. You know, in Romans 12:1, we are told to present the body, give it up. It's not yours. And it's supposed to honor God. So you need to be careful.
That's right.
Exactly what you put. And there are warnings in the Bible about not contaminating the body with what we eat. But anyway, like Koku, like you're saying, you know, before I took health serious,
right?
You know, I had a rounded face. You know, I won't say pretty much like you, but like, yeah.
Don't do that. You just said it. You just said it.
I had a rounded face and I was all, you know, I wasn't fat in any sense, but you could see. Right. And when I started putting health into my lifestyle, the first thing I started losing was actually fat that was not good for me. You know, I thought I was going to be slim and everybody thought I was sick, genuinely, you know, but I was rather losing of that which was not good for the body. So it's a mindset. When we see people...
because immediately you go down. I mean, how you were looking.
Yes.
And then you switch. You say, hey, are you okay?
Everybody asks me, are you okay?
Why?
That's the first thing.
Why? And they get worried.
Yes.
For you. Genuinely.
Yeah.
My world. You wanted to share, I mean, when we come, you say you wanted to share some 10 commandments. Before we talk about access to that, if you want to share that, I'll be very glad. But my point, while you look, is to say, I would have loved to see a lot of people. You are my friend, so when I come, I'm sure you would have done it either for free or a lot of discounts. But people might not know you, and they don't have access to. So that's why Google will become our friend. How do we have access to people like you and without paying much?
Okay, so there are dietitians at a lot of the hospitals.
Okay.
Ideally, there's supposed to be dietitians at I think even at the district level, there should be dietitians. They should be involved in the primary health care all the way up. But, you know, when it comes to employment, because currently, like since 2019, no dietitian has been employed by the government.
Huh?
Oh, wow. Yes. So, but
since 2019?
Since 2019. Since those who graduated in 2019, no dietitian has been employed. So there are lots of people at home, and some of them have ventured into private practice. So you can actually contact them on the
which has become
basis.
Very expensive.
Yes,
because private more is not discounted, it's not subsidized, right?
Yeah, but you can find dietitians in the hospitals. Yeah.
Guys, can you dietitians, if you're watching me, can you start Facebook Live and some Facebook things? I'm sure once we are liking and sharing, you get your money and then you can give us the knowledge for free as well. I think that's good, right?
That's good. But it's at the end of the day, the dietitian also has to eat.
Oh my word.
So that I have enough energy to worship God.
But share with me the 10 commandments before I come to Coffee Fitness.
So where I put together some 10 commandments that I think would resonate with this program.
Right.
Let me just scroll up.
Right. Well, so we're talking. Right. Go ahead.
See that the first commandment.
Yes.
It's in old King James version.
Okay.
Thou shalt eat to the glory of God.
Okay.
Meaning, whether you eat or drink, do it all for the glory of God.
Okay.
And the second commandment, thou shalt honor thy body as the temple of the Holy Spirit.
Of course, but we're of course, Sarah also.
The third commandment, thou shalt not live by bread alone, but by balanced meals.
Okay, that's interesting.
Then the fourth one, remember the meal times and keep them holy. So do not skip meals or binge in secret. Set regular peaceful times to eat and then reflect.
So there's no excuse that I came back late from work. This is the only time I have to eat and all of that. When it's time to eat, you go and eat.
Yes.
It shouldn't be.
Or as Coffee Fitness was suggesting, you pack your food to work so that when it's time to eat.
People think that is lame. As much as I think that even buying food in our own bowls must be brought back. So how I feel that one minister would start it, so I'm going to buy wache, and today we saw that because that practice was healthy. You took your bowl. Yeah. What do you think? But people think, hey, you are lame. Charlie, you guy pa.
If you carry your lunch bag in truck.
I think because we live in a pretentious society.
Right.
Because otherwise, why would someone packing their food, one, you're saving money. Mm-hmm. Two, you know exactly what's in the food.
That's right.
That you're eating.
That's right.
So why would that be lame, if not for pretentiousness? I think it's one of the smartest things you can do to save money. Number one, two, health reasons.
That's right.
Because if you're taking care of yourself, you know what you need.
Yeah.
So you know the ingredients that you need in your food.
Right.
So to me, is one of the best things you can do is prepare your food yourself. Take it to work instead of going out and buying fast food on your lunch break or whatever. Take your own food, balance it off. Have your apple or whatever it is, some type of fruit, some vegetables, and some protein.
Yeah.
With a little bit of carbs.
Yeah.
That's all.
Okay. A big shout outs to Jonas and I think I get to see Eben also do that. But they are getting spots these days because of us.
They are following my advice.
All of them.
I can list all of them.
Okay.
I've been training them.
They've trained them. They'll get you after the show. Let's continue with it before we do.
So the sixth commandment is, thou shalt not use food to numb the soul.
Okay.
So some people, when they are hurt or stressed, they do emotional eating.
Okay.
So it said, tend to prayer, not the pantry. Feed the spirit, not just the flesh. That's the sixth commandment. So the seventh commandment is that thou shalt practice moderation, not gluttony. So even good food in excess can become harmful. So you should watch out.
Yes. People who eat kinky for. You see, yeah.
This is my favorite. Okay. This is my favorite.
There are people still out.
And then and also, these days, because of this social media craze, where they say go and get the platter of this food, so you realize that people tend to eat too much. They just binge eat.
Overindulgence.
Right.
Yeah.
So number 8, thou shalt prepare thy food with wisdom and love. It means you should plan meals, cook at home. Yep. And choose fresh seasonal ingredients whenever possible. The ninth one, thou shalt share thy bread with the hungry. This one, not just the hungry, but with other people. It's a Christian value.
Right.
It shows love, it shows commitment, belongingness.
Then it also helps you to cut down the size and all of that.
You also won't overeat.
Okay, yes.
But sometimes you have to know yourself, because there are some people that when they are eating in group, they eat more. When you know yourself, then you know whether you should eat with somebody or eat your part, give some out to some other person. Then the 10th one is, thou shalt give thanks before every meal.
Okay.
So pause, pray, be present. There are some people that they will be like, in Ewe they'll say,
Yes, 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 yes.
It means, God, you know we are in a hurry.
Yes.
Then they start
You know, tell God, shabu shabu, so there you go. So be
And they start
present.
eating, so-
What of us, for those of us who love to be on phone, we are still busy for nothing actually, but we are on phone and we are still eating.
it's also not healthy because,
Ouch.
screen times, I mean, it makes you to eat more because you are distracted.
Focus.
So you are, there are some people who watch movies whilst eating and then they eat more. And then also for kids, meal times are for family interaction, for communication, for the children to learn what the parents are doing, how table manners and all those things. So if you are spending this time on the screen,
Right.
they lose out on that kind of connection.
That's right.
So
That's right.
as Christians, we need to watch those things and
Right.
bring up better generation.
I see. Water. I mean, once you're exercising, you take a lot of water. But a lot of people like me as well, maybe because I'm not exercising, and that's why I don't take in a lot of it. So the only time I get to take water is when I'm eating. It's even as bad as anything. I know, I can see the dietitian. So that's why you encourage us to do a lot of exercising, right?
Yeah, but water is very important. So even whether you're exercising or not, you need water.
Yeah.
Average person, you should take in at least about 5 bottles of water a day. I do between 4 and 6.
Okay.
Right, bottles of the 500 millimeter water. You need water. Water cleanses you. It helps so many ways. So there's nothing wrong with drinking water.
That's right. That's right. The exercising, and now, I mean, we've been always connecting with you. I mean, back in the day when we started, those ones, and I'm coming back to the same thing. The forms, just give us, you started off the forms of exercising that people can, even maybe if they missed out and they get to work, what can they do when they're at work and all of that, these basic ones.
Yeah, good question. So let's say you're an office person and you're in a rush, you get up in the morning, zoom, you take a shower and you have to go to work.
Yes.
You get to work, you have 10 minutes before you start work.
Okay.
Use your chair.
Okay.
Just use your chair. Even just standing up and sitting down is an exercise.
Okay.
Okay? Touch your toes. Touch your waist. Raise your hands. That's an exercise.
Okay.
And that you can do in just a small little space, office space.
Okay.
So the bottom line is there's never any excuse not to do fitness, not to take care of your body, whether it's food intake or exercising. There's always a will, there's always a way. So it's all about, like we say, it's all about the mindset.
That's right.
You know, first thing you have to do is get your mind right that, yes, I need to do these things for my own benefit.
Yes.
I have to eat right for my own benefit. I have to eat at certain times for my own benefit. I have to work out for my own benefit.
Sarah, let me come to you. Away from the faith conversation is one that has to do with policy, national policy, call it. Ever since the time I got to know you, you wear a lot of African things. You look a lot of African. I mean, the beats you wear, they are Ghanaian and African. I don't know about your diet. I've not seen you eat that much, but I've seen you wear a lot of things. Even right now, I can see you wear the Ghanaian, outfit. There's the policy, because right now, I mean, we're talking before we came in. Elsewhere, we are told that the fast foods are for those who cannot afford. I didn't want to say poor. But here, rather, when you go into the fast foods, and I don't have to mention any name of the brand, it's rather where, so you meet a girl today and say, oh, I'm taking you, let's go and eat at home. Say, no, let's go to this place. And that's where the junk is. Is it by way of policy? Can we correct these things because you were in that space? Is there a way we can do that?
Well. That's a heavy one, Koku. But then let me start by saying that if we need policy as a people to help us to eat well, then there's something wrong with us. Because, I mean, like we are saying, it's a matter of appreciating your your own life, and then knowing what is healthy, what is unhealthy, and what goes in there and what shouldn't go in there. That was on the lighter note. But on a more serious note, I think we can go back to the issue of mindset, right? Because personally, when I look around now, you see that I think the element of the supply of the junk food has often just been to meet the demand.
Right.
So if the demand is going down, the supply will naturally go down. But when you look around closely these days, you realize that a lot of the eateries that have come up, a lot of the places where you have the liberty of ordering food conveniently these days, every caterer or food vendor is shifting towards healthy options because that is what the people are demanding.
Oh, really?
So you find some of them, yes, even delivering your food now wrapped in leaves. The food is in a leaf before it is put in the pack, maybe to avoid leakages and all that. Because let me use the word, we are woke. The people that are eating the food are now woke. They are listening to conversations like this. They are making one change at a time. So I even saw a new advert recently. They prepared tilapia. It is packed inside the leaf before the banku, and now we are all reading about the impact and the effect of packing banku in what do you call it, in the plastic bags and all of that. So a lot of people are now packaging food in smaller bowls. So you now buy the food and your banku comes in a small bowl, not in rubber.
Okay.
You might pay a little more for it, but it will surprise you that most corporates are actually now paying for that and investing in it. So it's a matter of mindset and what we as a people want. In terms of policy, I believe that even from the Ministry of Agri perspective, the more we are promoting this Eat Ghana agenda, like under the Visit Volta agenda, one of the things we are promoting is Eat Volta, Eat Ghana. And you realize that the message is going down. People are eating more Ghanaian food. See, even around during the year, in terms of events, calendars in the capital, I don't know about other places. Now we have the Akple Festival. People go there to eat and pepper and all kinds of soup just to taste other people's food. There is the Wache Fest. There was the Angwamu Festival somewhere. There's Kenke Fest. So somehow, yes, I think as our leaders are preaching it, the onus lies on us as citizens and as those who actually eat the food. And I think that we are really getting somewhere. I don't know if some of these actions are going beyond the capital.
Okay.
But I think there's a movement.
Okay.
There's a wave, and like.
Oh, okay. Well, okay, we'll get back to Serum very soon. So that was the context. That was maybe I didn't provide it well to say that some of us started wearing a bit of smock, the Batakari, because we saw GM always put it on, President John Dramani Mahama, and it looks good. So, I want the color that GM wore and that kind of thing. And so if they can start doing it, if the policy is that we eat what we grow and all of that, I think it will gravitate towards it. And that's what I felt like I wanted to bring. I don't know about it. Now that they have not even employed any of dietitians in the public.
Well, I think on the nutrition and dietetic front, we've been busy lately with some of these advocacies and policies. Just recently, we ended the front of pack warning label advocacy.
What's that?
Where we are advocating that if there's too much salt in the food, let the consumer know.
Label it.
If there's too much fat in the food, let the consumer know. If there's too much sugar in the food, let the consumer know. So that the consumer appreciates that if whatever I take in, even though I'm buying it with my own money, these are the consequences that I might get. You know, when you see the cigarette packs, they draw the lungs, the kidneys, and all those things, and how they get bad because of tobacco. So we are also saying that there should be some kind of warning label.
That's right.
And then we also had the Alliance for Healthy Living that we are partnering with, that we want them to put tax on sugar-sweetened beverages. Because now it is sad that at every event, even at church program, at Sunday schools, they are giving sugar-sweetened beverages to the children, and these things are detrimental to their health.
Yeah.
So we want to make it more not attractive to people. I mean, people should go for a better choice. And I think the Food and Drugs Authority is also helping because now they are vetting and approving the adverts. Because I came across one advert the last time that I was not happy with. So it was a mother who has sent the child, with a child to the market, and the mother was picking fruits. Then the child wanders off and goes to see a sugar-sweetened beverage, comes to pull the mother from the fruits.
Ouch!
And then they go to buy the sugar-sweetened beverage.
And it was FDA approved.
Yeah, I think by then. And we raised issues and it was pulled down.
Oh, I see.
And I asked, what kind of message does it send? You, the mother, is supposed to teach the child how to do the right thing.
Yes. Yep.
And you, the mother, knows that the fruit is good. You are standing by the fruit, and the child rather comes to pull you to go and choose something that is bad.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
So FDA has also been very careful. Then UNICEF also introduced this healthy school initiative, where they are saying that they shouldn't have, noodle signboards at school children, near schools. They shouldn't have signboards advertising these kind of sugar-sweetened beverages, and that the children should either be given an egg a day or a fruit a day.
That's right.
I mean, we are not religiously following it, but I think there are initiatives that are coming up. Then the school feeding program.
Yes.
Even though it's not being implemented as it's supposed to be, because sadly, there are no dietitians involved. Yeah. But at least children are no longer hungry in school. And I mean, these initiatives, even though they are not to the point where we want them to be, at least I think they are a step in a good.
Is there a thing you want to say? Finally, we have to go.
Yeah,
Yes.
I just want to help from these are the experts.
Yes.
Okay. But usually it's seen as it's expensive to eat healthy.
That's right.
It's expensive to live healthy. You need to buy a lot of salad and salad cost and so on and so forth. And this is what I saw with my experience, that our Ghanaian foods are naturally healthy and their combinations are correct, but our proportions is what probably we miss it. Okay. So a typical dish is somebody buys wache, then they will buy spaghetti, then they will add gari. All these things are in one class of foods. That's carbohydrates.
You don't need all that.
Before they will buy sausage, then they will buy egg, and then they will buy fish. You can spend the same amount, but make that food healthier by skipping the gari, skipping the pasta, okay, and buy proteins with it, or buy salad with that.
If you say pasta.
Oh, okay, so spaghetti.
Yes.
All right, spaghetti.
If we were on another station, we would have said talia.
Yes. Buy kinky. Maybe you want to eat 2 balls of kinky. Buy 1 kinky. Yeah. The other 5 CDs or whatever amount, rather increase that into veggies or proteins. I noticed that with just the same amount of money, roughly, that you spend on making foods unhealthy,
right,
you can use the same amount to make it healthy. And on the exercise front, I do a lot of walking. I park when I have to go and buy something, I deliberately park my car a bit of distance away from that place. I don't drive straight to that point.
Okay.
And then go.